Yeah, the Sons of Ben is a 501c3, and one of the things that Brian James started, was to give back to the city of Chester, and specifically an event that we run every year is Help Kick Hunger, and it really is designed to help the Bernadine Center and kind of put, essentially just make it that there are, better things in Chester, that we have the ability to give back. I mean, it's our home. It's our home away from home. And, if we can make that, a positive experience for everyone around us, then that's what we should be doing. It's sometimes it's surreal. You don't really realize what you're in the middle of until you step back and you watch it on TV, and it's like, wow, we did that. That's pretty cool. The environment is really electric. And, I think, we have some of the best fans and best members in MLS.
Alright guys, before we start off this video, I wanted to touch upon something that was very important about yesterday, despite what we saw on the pitch by the Philadelphia Union. If you're new to the team, or if you just don't know who Kenny Hanson is, yesterday was the 2-year anniversary of his death. Now, for many Union fans and Sons of Ben, especially from day one, Kenny Hanson means something special. Kenny Hanson was Sons of Ben. Kenny Hanson was the Philadelphia Union. Kenny was one of the original Sons of Ben members who eventually went on to become the Sons of Ben president from 2013 through 2015. And in that time, what many people don't know is he cultivated Sons of Ben culture that we still see to this day. Kenny was a lighthearted guy who wanted to have fun and loved the Philadelphia Union. He showed us all how to bring everyone together. Kenny wanted Sons of Ben to be a family, and he wanted to welcome the outsiders with open arms and treat them like they were part of the family, whether they wanted to be part of it or not. These are all things that we see from Sons of Ben to this day, and it's one of the reasons why I chose to be a member of the Sons of Ben. Unfortunately, the Union family lost him 2 years ago, but his memory still lives on. Yesterday, we celebrated his life, and we remembered him. And I'd like to take this moment to thank Father Ben, Jeff Mitchell, for telling me this story. Stories of people like Kenny Hanson is something that we need to pass on from generation to generation of Union fans. I'm part of the new generation of the Union fans, and listening to the story of Kenny Hanson makes me so proud of being a part of Sons of Ben and being a fan of the Philadelphia Union. And I want to bring this to you guys because I want you guys to take on what Kenny was trying to build down in Chester. Not only did Kenny care about the Union family, but he also wanted to make sure the city of Chester was good. His charity work will forever live on in Union history. Yesterday we got the result we all wanted, and in the honor of Kenny, as any Sons of Ben member would say, we blame it on Kenny. We'll always remember you, Kenny.
Always cherish and forever love. To Kenny.
Kenny!
Now let's get on to the match, because the Philadelphia Union just faced off against the Houston Dynamo, and what a night it was. We're going to discuss that as we review that match here on DOOP By The River. And that is all coming up next. Dale! Welcome to DOOP By The River, the show where we follow everything Philadelphia Union with me, El Parcero Philly. And if this is the first time you're tuning in, or if you're returning back, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Well, please help me grow soccer here in Philadelphia by subscribing to the channel, hitting the bell button for the notifications, and sharing this on any social media you use. Text it to your friends, email it to your boss, whatever you gotta do. Help me grow this thing here. And you want to talk more? Follow me. Follow me on Twitter at El Parcero Philly, and also on Instagram, L_Parcero_Philly. And before the match, I called this the revenge of the US Open Cup last year, and a couple of the fans got it. But not only were we looking for revenge here, but we were just looking to get back on a roll. We've talked about it playing on DOOP By The River the last couple episodes, is that since the international break, the Union really have had a tough time trying to lift off and get on a little roll here. But after last week's 5-1 thumping down in our nation's capital, the Philadelphia Union came back to face off against Houston, and we knew right off the bat Houston was in desperation mode as well. They've been on bad form over the last month, and the Western Conference playoffs are slipping through their hands. Alright, but let's get right into this match, and we'll start with the starting 11 and the formations we saw the Union go with against the Dynamo. And the formation, nothing changed. We stuck with that 4-4-2 diamond, and starting in goal, who else? Andre Blake. And Andre had a pretty solid match here. He allowed 1 goal past him. That was a great class goal from one of my parceros, Christian Ramirez. But overall, a good match by our goalie. And in that back line, a little surprise here again, as Jim Kirchin went with the same back line we saw in DC. Kai Wagner, Aurelien Collen, Jack Elliott, and Ray Gaddis. Now, let's start off with Aurelien Collen because honestly, after that match, I think he solidified his starting position at that left center back position. We saw him take the job from Austin Trusty last week in DC. Jims liked what he saw and stuck with him against Houston. And what Aurelien brings, as we've talked about it, is the communication that he has with the other guys. He's a vet. He's done this before. And right now, that is what we need. While Austin right now is dealing with, trying to get his confidence back. We'll see if Jim sticks with Aurelien for the rest of the year. But for right now, it is working. Kai Wagner was a little quiet on this day. He didn't have the same effect in the attack that we usually see. He wasn't really effective in the final third, but it's all right because we still got the win and, the defense did their job. Jack Elliott. Great match by Jack Elliott. He got a goal here and he is actually up for Team of the Week. Bravo to Jack Elliott. Jim Kirchner switched up on me again, sticking with the same midfield that we saw down in DC. Starting from left to right, Warren Craval at the left shuttle midfielder. At the 6th row, Harris Meduninen. At the right shuttle midfielder, our captain, Alejandro Bedoya. And at the tip of the diamond, Marco Fabian. Now let's start with Marco because he again showed off his skills, showed off his class, and honestly, I think Marco is here, and I think Marco deserves some more credit here. I know we've been hating on him, since he signed on with the Union, really hasn't played much, hasn't really shown us much, but in the last 2 weeks, Marco's back. And Warren Craval, another surprise there, but what Warren Craval does is huge, and he's been so underrated, but in the past 2 matches, he's been really effective, and defensively is his strong suit. And that's all we needed him to do. And it's great to see Warren step it up because adding another option in the midfield is gonna be huge. And up top as the 2 strikers, same 2 up there from DC, Andrew Rutten and Kasper Schmeichel, and I also predicted this as well, and I think this is what we're going to see for this forward positions going forward. Andrew Rutten again was pretty quiet on the stat sheet, but what we don't realize about Andrew is what he does off the ball, and that is huge. He is definitely an intimidating presence up top for all these MLS defenses, and he had a solid match. Kasper Schmeichel had a great game as well as he got a goal, and it was a nice 5-hole goal between the legs of Houston's goalie, Joe Willis. And I absolutely love seeing Kasper celebrate by grabbing the new My Captain No Captain t-shirt in honor of Alejandro Bedoya. Just showing the chemistry this team has together is huge, and you can tell why this team is still in first place. These guys are legit a band of brothers. All right, let's talk about these goals we saw in this match because this match started off a little back and forth. The Union was trying to figure out Houston. Houston was trying to figure out the Union, but in the 18th minute, Marco Fabian led the counterattack, who then found Harris Meduninen and a couple passes between Kasper and Harris. Kasper would find the back of the goal through the 5-hole of Joe Willis to put the Union up 1-0, and Kasper put up the t-shirt. We were flying high, everyone was feeling good in the stadium, and then Houston started putting on pressure on the Union defense. And in the 42nd minute, my Parcero, Christian Ramirez, would take advantage of a lackadaisical play from Harris Meduninen, which, we see it from time to time. Harris on defense took advantage, and DeMarcus Beasley took an outlet pass down the flank, and DeMarcus found him right in the box, and Christian just nailed it in the back of the net to put Houston tied up with Philly 1-1. Now we see Harris Meduninen having some lackadaisical plays on defense in the past, and we saw that there on that goal. The second half was a grind. Both teams were digging and grinding, trying to look for that game winner, and the tension was high in Talon Energy. After a Philly goal got called back in the 76th minute, Jack Elliott had a heads-up play, took his own rebound off the crossbar to head it in the net to put the Union up 2-1, and the place erupted. Houston was trying to gasp for that last leg, trying to get drawn up and at least walk away Philly with 1 point, but it wouldn't happen, as the Union would seal up this win, winning it 2-1, keeping us back in first place, bringing more eyes to chess. Now guys, this was a huge win. This was a Houston team, as we mentioned, was desperate, and there is absolute quality and talent on this Houston team. But we've mentioned it before. Like Jim Kirchner has said plenty of times this season, if you want to do more than just make the playoffs, win playoff games, make the MLS Cup, win MLS Cup, you gotta win games like this. Every game is not gonna be a cakewalk like down in DC. But the Union found a way. They grinded and found the extra goal to win this game, and they really needed to win this game with the rest of the Eastern Conference gunning for them. And when we look at the stats, Houston had more shots and shots on target than the Philadelphia Union, having 11 shots with 4 of them on target and 46% of possession, while the Union only had 9 shots, 2 on target, and 54% of possession, making this win even more impressive, even though they did win in the possession category. And when we look at the standings, again, our Philadelphia Union is up top the Eastern Conference with 45 points, now the most points in franchise history up to this point. We are going to break our franchise record for points that we set last season. I can't tell you how magical this season is, but let's look at the rest of the Eastern Conference. In second place, Atlanta. Atlanta is gunning for us. They are starting to figure it out, and they dismantled an NYCFC, winning it down at home. They are in second with 42 points. In third, DC United is still hanging on there with 39. NYCFC, they got a couple games on hand this month, and right now are sitting in fourth with 38 points. In fifth, the energy drink team from North Jersey is in fifth with 37 points. In sixth, the resurgent New England Revolution with 34. And that last wild card spot is actually tied between the 2 Eastern Conference Canadian teams, Montreal and Toronto. That should be a fun ride heading to the end of the season, watching those 2 teams battle out. And one thing I would like to mention is the atmosphere down at Talent Energy. If you haven't watched my vlog, Match Day against the Houston Dynamo yesterday, I'll put a link up here, but definitely check that out. Guys, just walking through Talent Energy, you felt the electricity. Everyone was buzzing. Everyone felt it. This is a first place team we have in Philly. It is time to pay attention to the Philadelphia Union. For Christ's sakes, I saw the 97.5 Fanatic morning show there. The Bro and Trey Thomas was there. When I saw those 2 there, man, I knew we were doing something right down in Chester. We had a sold out house, and our next home game is the alumni game against DC United, and I expect that to be sold out as well. All right, guys, those are my thoughts on the Philadelphia Union winning this match here against Houston Dynamo. What a great win. We did this for Kenny. But in the comments below, I want to hear from you guys. What were your thoughts on the match yesterday? How are you feeling? What's the buzz like for you over the Union? And also, if you knew Kenny Hanson, I want to hear stories. Let me know in the comments below. Tell me your favorite story of Kenny Hanson and what you knew about him. And of course, guys, help me grow this channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button for notifications, and share this on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, text, email, whatever you gotta do. Help me grow soccer here in Philadelphia. And also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Parcero Philly, on Instagram L_Parcero_Philly. And until next time, my duperos, doop on.
True hippie.